Hello everyone, my name is Michael Burns. Thank you for deciding to listen to my voice. It is an absolute pleasure. So, let's talk about movie theaters. And yes, I'm sure you can feel the sticky floors and the recliner seats, but do you remember where you fell in love with your favorite movie? It was probably the theater. And I think there's just something about being able to sit in an auditorium full of people experiencing the same exact thing. Now, if you're a superhero movie fan, you probably remember watching Captain America lift up the hammer, Tony Stark snap his fingers, or seeing your childhood Spider-Man on screen for the first time in 20 years. Would you have ever seen that for the first time on a streaming service, though? Probably not. But within 2020, we saw how streaming services kind of took over, and I think it's worth talking about. Do you prefer a streaming service? Why? Why?
Why?
We're going to talk about why. So today we here have Alex Swartz. I appreciate you being here, sir. It's going to be great. So yeah, you know what? Let's just get right into it.
Yeah.
So, watching a movie in a theater, I believe it's truly something else. I don't think you can compare it with watching a movie at home, especially for the first time. Or can it? Can it? Can it actually? Here's the thing. The biggest issue with that is I believe you're altering the viewing experience that you were truly meant to have. But before you disagree, I think it's good to know that it is a fact that you get the best pictures, the best picture quality, the best sound, as well as just the general idea of a big screen itself. And I think that's important. Although, while that may sound extremely enticing to most people, there are some people who see the opposite. Introducing my good old friend, Alex Swartz. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
It's a pleasure to talk to you,
Yeah.
especially now. Alex Swartz, what is your fondest movie watching experience?
Well, I'm not a big movie person,
Yeah.
but my fondest moments. I think as a kid, I was a huge fan of those David Attenborough documentaries, and it's just I would watch them with my brother and my dad, and it's just
Do you have a particular memory in a theater though?
As a kid, I was afraid of movie theaters.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, and it was never really my thing.
Okay.
Just the comfort of my own home was enough for me.
Yeah, okay, I get that. I guess the fondest theater experience I ever got was Avengers Endgame opening night. It was 11 p.m. watching it with all my friends. It was absolutely packed. It was a packed theater.
Mm-hmm.
And for the first time ever, I got to watch a movie and I got to cheer. I got to scream. I got to clap. I got to do all sorts of things. Many people heard many different things. And that, I just haven't got to get that experience out of my head, you know. I had very similar ones with just bigger movies in general. But at the same time, I can watch an artsier film or maybe an Oscar baiting movie at the same time. I can watch that in theater and have the same pleasures and experience. The best example is 1917. When I remember the first time I saw that in theaters, when I watched him get out of the trench and start running however many meters it was to get to the other side, and just being absolutely just enthralled. I was in the moment. I was in the experience. I know what I was feeling, and I just think there's just something special about just having the big screen in front of you, you know?
Yeah, well, it's just I don't know. For me, it's when you're watching a movie at home, I think you can get just as immersed.
You think so?
I think so, because whatever, it's not hard to trick your brain and to feel like being in the scene. And really, it's just, I think the accessibility and it really helps.
Oh, yeah, I'd agree with that, especially after COVID.
Yeah, of course.
But seeing a movie for the first time, do you see no downsides to seeing it the first time on a laptop or your phone?
Yeah, I mean, I get that part.
Yep.
And I watched Nope in movie theaters.
Yep.
And it really was more of an experience. And
So
but
there's just a lot of big things going on, you know?
yeah, but it's just that part where it's just the whole process of going into a movie theater is just like, I think it might just be a personal thing for me.
Yeah.
It's just like watching it at home with friends instead of watching it in the theater with friends.
Yeah.
It's just like, when you're home, there's no pressure to like.
Oh.
You know, you can talk about it while you're watching it.
I can see that.
It's just like with movie theaters, it's such a commitment. You know.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know, I guess I can see that. But yeah, I do agree that there is a comfort level at home. I guess my biggest thing is like I can watch a movie for the first time at home. I've done it before, back when HBO Max released their entire slate. At the same time as theaters and streaming service. I watched Godzilla vs. King Kong for the first time on my little 30-inch TV. It wasn't.
It really wasn't.
It wasn't great, but at the same time, the entire time I watched it, I can't help but to think like this would have been better in the theater. As well as like I get distracted. I check my phone.
That's the thing. You get the big bass and like the booming noises in the theater that you can't get on a laptop. When I first watched that movie, my friend was literally streaming it on his computer in a group chat, and it was just like, it was so much more fun because we could talk while watching.
I guess so. And you know what? I guess there is kind of a fun to be able to do that.
Yeah.
But like that it goes on to my next thing. It's like it comes down to a personal level if you want to experience what a filmmaker wants you to see versus what you want to see, and I could see it from both sides.
Yeah.
So I get it for the most part, but like I don't know. I guess I'm a sucker for the big screen. You know?
No, yeah, I totally get that, and what I'm thinking, like, I get like a movie theater seeming as like the purest form in how a movie is supposed to be shown.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think movies are starting to like change it, so like maybe these movies are supposed to be watched on a computer screen because movies were first supposed to be shown like in movie theaters, and that was the main appeal of them.
Yeah.
That was the only way you could see the movie. But now it's just, a lot of movies are now only being shown.
Yeah, you're right.
Like, first being shown on a streaming service.
I was gonna say, yeah, you got like Netflix and Hulu, and you know what? They pump out some good stuff.
Yeah, they do.
It's incredible, really. But no, you know what? I think it really can go both ways. I've gotten very similar joys out of watching something at home. Like some of my favorite movies the first time I saw them were just on my home TV because I was during COVID actually.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So here we are. But yeah, there you have it. An opinion from a guy who might just be a little too nostalgic and sentimental, and from a guy who cares about the technological future, I guess we could say, right?
Yes.
Do you agree with that? Yeah.
I suppose.
But yeah, here's the thing though, Avatar 3 or Avatar 9, whatever, that's just not a movie that you're gonna see on a streaming service the first time. But regardless, I'd like to thank you, Alex, for coming on. I appreciate you taking some time out of your very busy schedule.
Well, thanks for having me.
To all you know what? Go to a theater.
Do what you want.
Support your local filmmakers.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Or do what you want.
And yes,
or
if
do
you
what
do see
want.
if you do see it in the movie, support small businesses.
Support small businesses.
Not
but
like
you know
AMC.
What? Yeah. But you know what? If a movie comes out on a streaming service first, you know what? Just watch it.
Yeah.
You'll enjoy it.
Do
It's a
what you
good
want.
time. It's a good time. And alright. That is all we got for you.
Thank you.
That'd be great.